Good evening, sir.
Hi, Raman. Good evening. Hello, Ram sir. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Sir, first of all, we all, as a student, past student of yours, want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. The way you teach us, because of you, I was able to clear in FR and audit, and you are a bless for us, sir, before CA also and after CA also. Thank you, sir.
Wow, Raman, you made my day. You made my year. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction. I mean, I couldn't have got any other and better introduction than this in this session. Really appreciate and congratulations to you. In fact, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks,
एक
sir.
बार Wow. So I just want to have a look. So we have Ram sir here. Hi, Ram sir. How are you? Great. Sir, are you able to unmute yourself, Ram sir?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, I can.
Great.
Wow. So Raman was thanking me as his tutor, and I also will take this opportunity to thank Ram sir. He was my mentor in ITC, and I will introduce himself like a person who has not just recruited thousands of chartered accountants into ITC, but has also rejected somewhere around 5,000 plus CAs from getting into ITC. So that tough an interviewer he was.
Is that something nice or
That experience would help all these candidates, sir. So to get
obviously ITC looks for the best excellence.
very true, sir.
Making yourself excellent is in your control. You got to make yourself excellent.
Very true. And we have Namita ma'am also here. Hi, Namita ma'am. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good evening. I'm doing great. How about you?
Very well, ma'am. How's your health now?
Yeah. I'm perfectly fine.
Great, wonderful. Okay, so can we have is it possible for you guys to put your cameras on? I just want to have a look. CA से पहले और CA के बाद कैसे क्या change आया दिखने में? Wow, Divisha, you look nice. अंश तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि CA in Bollywood tagline.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful, darling. Hi, Shanar, how are you? Great.
Sarthak, everyone here is a chartered accountant?
Yes, sir. I believe so. That
Wonderful.
this is all for CAs and CAs of November 24, the recently qualified.
Wonderful.
Great. तो मुंह दिखाई की जो रस्म करेंगे ना उन लोगों को we'll get them better jobs with high paying jobs. So I'm going to take a screenshot of people who have put their camera on. बाकी जिनके चेहरे नहीं दिख रहे उनको फास्ट करियर हेल्प नहीं करेगा. Aye, sir. Now we're getting to see people. Wonderful. Chalo, great. Thank you all for joining in. Ek baar, if you can all unmute yourself. And, I would like to congratulate all of you. And it's time that we should also congratulate ourselves. So let's clap. जितना अपने में दम है उतनी जोर से और एक बार सबको सुनाई दे. स्पीकर्स बंद हो जाना चाहिए ऐसे. Congratulations. Chalo, wonderful. And let's start with the session now. So, सबसे पहले, what is this particular session going to be all about? So, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Objected, the session has a very clear-cut defined objective. And let me please share the slide with you. I'll just have a short PPT to start with, and then we'll move on with the session. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all what this session is all about. Can somebody read this out to me? इस पूरे में क्या काम की चीज है आपके लिए?
Get hired and hire.
Wonderful. So what we are going to talk about principally is इस particular result में what should be our strategy to get hired at a higher compensation. सबसे पहले let's start with the results. I'm sure you would have seen the results, but for the sake of bringing you all on the same page, and the fact that we want to strategize as well as execute our plan in the right direction to get hired at a higher package. First and foremost, this result was 11,500, and this was 44% lesser than the previous result. So once again, a big congratulations to people who have cleared. आप लोगों का competition ऐसे ही 44% तो कम हो गया in comparison to the previous batch. But if we see not just with the previous result, which was a bumper result, last 7 results average, if you see, this result was 14% below that. In fact, पिछले 7 result का this is the second lowest result in terms of the total number of pass out. तो ये चीजें सुन के अच्छा लग रहा है, बुरा लग रहा है? I mean, obviously, we are feeling more privileged with this that, oh, अभी तक मेरे को भी नहीं पता था कि ये ऐसा है क्या, इतने tough result में अपन CA बने. So that is something which is better for you. However, the both group pass out ratio has improved, I think, primarily because of the 6 paper thing which is happening in the new course. And because I am an auditor, I have to support everything with facts and evidences, otherwise tum manoge nahi. And that is why you can see, this is the result which you can see for the past 7 attempts. And you could see that 11,500 chartered accountants, पिछले 7 attempt में the lowest only was November 23. Beyond that, uske, if you see apart from that, it has always been better than that. If we talk about both group pass outs, that number is comparatively better in this exam. So you can see 4134 both group pass outs, which is 13.44%. And आप average देखोगे तो average से ये बेहतर है काफी. So this time companies will have more both group first attempt pass outs available. So for at that particular stage, the competition would be a little higher. This particular result, we also had lesser number of people appearing. I think a major reason was that in the last exam, we had 20,000 odd CS, which was a bumper lot. So because of that, a lot of people went out of the funnel. Now, अब आज हमारा discussion जो हो रहा है वो stipend से CTC का हो रहा है. So from a 2,000 or 3,000 rupees guy per month, now we are going to move on to 2 lakhs to 3 lakh rupees guy per month, right? तो हर हफ्ते आप एक iPhone खरीद सकते हो. So I mean MacBook, अब iPhone क्या बात है? So from stipend to CTC, how is our journey going to be? Usually, if you see total, we have 11,500 people in the game. CA campus say you can expect 4,000 odd offers to be made. How many people if eventually accept and select those particular offers and join those companies, that data is not available. But अगर मैं बात करूँ तो process कैसे होता है, तो it's a pretty straightforward process. पहले आपकी shortlisting होगी, फिर test, उसके बाद GD और PI, right? Now, what we know, so what I'll do is अभी we will have a short discussion सबसे पहले कि companies recruit करती है तो कैसे करती है. अपना ये जो सेशन का ऑब्जेक्टिव है ये प्राइमरली एकदम सिंपल है. नाउ वी आर ऑल चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स लुकिंग फॉर जॉब्स एंड दिस इज द मोमेंट वेयर वी हैव टू स्टार्ट improving our probabilities of getting more jobs, better jobs, jobs of our liking and with higher compensation. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये करने के लिए आपको सबसे पहले एक प्रोसेस समझ लेना चाहिए जो बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड और डायरेक्ट है. कोई बहुत ज्यादा इसमें रॉकेट साइंस है नहीं. कि सबसे पहले आपको कंपनी क्या करती है, शॉर्टलिस्ट करती है. शॉर्टलिस्टिंग सबसे पहली स्टेज पे आपकी किसके बेसिस पे होती है? गेट पास क्या है आपका?
Attempts, sir, maybe.
Attempts. So sorry.
Resume.
रेज्यूमे सीवी, करेक्ट. तो सबसे पहले गेट पास तो मेरा रेज्यूमे सीवी और उसके अंदर सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर रहेगा अटेम्प्ट. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ आपको पहले कॉर्पोरेट साइड से, बिकॉज 2008 is actually the year from which we've been into placements. 2006 तक मैं ITC में था. Ram sir was my boss there. 2008 we started Fast Careers and it's been like last 15-16 odd years that we've been into placement. So we've worked very closely with a lot of corporates recruiting chartered accountants, and the process which most of you know and some things which you may not know, I'll just kind of try to tell you some inputs about it. इससे होगा क्या बेनिफिट कि अपन जब प्रिपेयर करेंगे राइट फ्रॉम आवर सीवी टू ग्रुप डिस्कशन टू पर्सनल इंटरव्यू और एनीथिंग, वी विल बी नोइंग कि कंपनी कैसे शॉर्टलिस्ट करती है और अपन अपनी प्रोबेबिलिटी सिलेक्शन की बढ़ाएंगे. यूजुअली अगर आप देखोगे एज पर द बुक्स द स्टैंडर्ड सिलेक्शन रेशियो इज 1:20. यानी आप गूगल करते हो और कोई भी मैनेजमेंट बुक्स पढ़ते हो तो उसमें ये कहा जाता है इफ यू वांट टू हायर द बेस्ट टैलेंट यू शुड हैव 20 प्रोफाइल्स फॉर एवरी वन सिंगल ओपनिंग. तो इसका मतलब मेरा सिलेक्शन रेशियो एक आइडियल जॉब के लिए कितना होगा? लोअर देन द बोथ ग्रुप सीए फाइनल पासिंग परसेंटेज. सीए के जीवन में परसेंटेज बहुत ज्यादा फेवरेबल होते नहीं है. यहाँ पे 5% आ गया, मतलब सीए फाइनली अच्छी थी, एक बार फिर से दे देते. प्रोसेस क्या होता है? सबसे पहले मेरी रेज्यूम बेस्ड शॉर्टलिस्टिंग होगी. कुछ कंपनीज रिटन टेस्ट रखती है which is basically another form of shortlisting primarily by companies जिनमें large number के recruitments होते हैं. ये IT companies हो सकती है, banks हो सकती है, कुछ cases में other shortlisting criteria written में होता है. Because अब आपका ICI campus physical होगा तो group discussions will be a popular mode. Otherwise virtual mode पे GDs बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होते थे. And then you have the personal interview which is the final round based on which you get the offer letter. अब सबसे पहला सवाल मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ, रेज्यूम में शॉर्टलिस्टिंग करती है कंपनी तो आई एम श्योर वी नो रैंक, अटेम्प्ट और आर्टिकलशिप. ये 3 चीजें हैं जिसके बेसिस पे शॉर्टलिस्टिंग होती है. इसके अलावा डू यू थिंक एनी अदर फैक्टर इज गोइंग टू अफेक्ट योर रेज्यूमे बेस्ड शॉर्टलिस्टिंग?
Sarthak, you can mention this application tracking system, ATS.
Okay, sir. Sure. Done. So, what do you think? इन 3 फैक्टर्स के अलावा और क्या फैक्टर्स होते होंगे जो तुम्हारे रेज्यूम की शॉर्टलिस्टिंग को अफेक्ट करते होंगे? Sumant, regular college, very good. In fact, well appreciated. You can put it in the chat. You want to unmute and you can say you're all chartered accountants, so unmoderated. एकदम जैसे बिंदास इच्छा है आप वैसे बात कर सकते हो. 60 marks cut off, 60% cut off. Industrial training, okay. Nice. So let me share my inputs with my experience. सबसे पहली चीज समझना, आज की तारीख में बहुत सारी कंपनीज में रेज्यूम बेस्ड शॉर्टलिस्टिंग होती ही नहीं है, या यूं कह लो कि रेज्यूमेज बहुत ही कम सेट ऑफ कंपनीज है जो देखती है. ज्यादातर कंपनीज आजकल एक्सेल बेस्ड शॉर्टलिस्टिंग करती है. लास्ट टू लास्ट आईसीआई कैंपस से पहले तक आईसीआई आपका सीवी लेता ही नहीं था. अपलोड करने की वहां पे कहीं कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं था. Ram sir, am I correct? During earlier days, there used to be no resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there used to be just database which was filled in, and companies used to get an Excel sheet, and they used to filter amongst that particular sheet, and then based on that, they used to identify the shortlist. अब आप एक चीज समझना, इससे इसका मतलब क्या है? सीए इंस्टीट्यूट के कैंपस के फॉर्म में या फास्ट की वेबसाइट के कैंपस के फॉर्म में, एटीएस की अपन बात करेंगे, इस सब जगह व्हाट इज ऑफ वेरी क्रिटिकल इंपॉर्टेंस कि जो चीजें आप वहां पर फिल कर रहे हो वो बहुत क्रिटिकल है. क्यों? क्योंकि एक छोटी सी गलत इंफॉर्मेशन या अननोइंगली अनकॉन्शियसली भरी हुई इंफॉर्मेशन हो सकता है कि आपकी सिलेक्शन की प्रोबेबिलिटी कम कर दे. क्या क्या चीजें इंपैक्ट करती है? अपार्ट फ्रॉम रैंक, अटेम्प्ट, आर्टिकलशिप, एंड व्हेन आई से आर्टिकलशिप आई एम आल्सो रेफरिंग टू इंडस्ट्रियल ट्रेनिंग, अदर थिंग्स व्हिच हैपन इज ग्रेजुएशन. जैसे किसी ने कहा, आज भी कई सारी ऐसी कंपनीज हैं जिनकी एक लीगल टेक्निकल रिक्वायरमेंट है दैट योर ग्रेजुएशन शुड बी फ्रॉम अ कॉलेज. तो इग्नू से ग्रेजुएशन किए वाले लोग कई बार इसलिए शॉर्टलिस्ट नहीं हो पाते जस्ट बिकॉज दे हैव अ करस्पॉन्डेंस. कुछ कंपनीज इसे रिकंसिडर कर लेती है, कुछ कंपनीज इसे रिकंसिडर नहीं करती है. तो इनकेस अगर आपको लगता है यू वांट टू प्ले अराउंड दिस और आपका ग्रेजुएशन कॉलेज से नहीं है, यू माइट स्टिल वांट टू मेंशन इन योर सीवी सिंपल ग्रेजुएशन and not specify whether it is from a college or it is correspondence. Because अगर कोई कंपनी later stage पे consider कर सकती है आपको select करने को, तो आपके पास एक opportunity रहेगी. So I'm not saying fill a wrong detail, but what I'm trying to say is graduation could be a basis of shortlisting if it is not from a regular college. आप बोलोगे यार ये क्या लॉजिक है, सीए बन गए तो फिर ग्रेजुएशन का क्या मैटर करता है? वो कंपनी की पॉलिसी है कि मैनेजर लेवल पे कोई भी हम रिक्रूट करते हैं तो यू शुड बी फ्रॉम अ रेगुलर कॉलेज. इट्स मोर ऑन दोस ग्राउंड. Many a times company will look at your current city. In fact, कई बार ऐसा भी होता था हमारे जमाने में जब हम चक्कर खाते थे. In fact, we used to go to individual companies, we used to put our CVs there because it was not so very well connected online. So we used to take a local number. कि मुंबई में जॉब चाहिए तो वहां का लोकल नंबर लेते थे। अब आजकल तो सब कुछ ऑल इंडिया पैन इंडिया नंबर चलता है, पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था, एसटीडी होता था। सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि एचआर यूज्ड टू प्रेफर टू कॉल अ कैंडिडेट हु वाज अ लोकल कैंडिडेट, बिकॉज उनको मालूम था कि इसको हम फटाफट ऑनबोर्ड कर सकते हैं, इसका सिलेक्शन फटाफट कर सकते हैं, और ये शायद ज्यादा लंबा भी टिकेगा बिकॉज ही इज मोर अकस्टम्ड टू दिस पर्टिकुलर सिटी। So current city is something which is critical, which means in your CV, if in case you are showing your city, and if you feel your current city is going to help you get better jobs, जिसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि आप मुंबई में हैं या मेट्रोज में हैं और वहां पे ज्यादा जॉब्स है, you might as well want to mention that specifically, which will help you to further enhance your opportunities. Same goes with your articleship details when you are putting up, but please make a note that current city is a basis for shortlisting. जहां पे हम डेटा फिट करते हैं तो वहां पे तो वो पूछते ही हैं, तो आपको बाय डिफॉल्ट करना पड़ेगा. Gender, when I say, is very strange, but yes, some companies do have a diversity hiring requirement. And because of that, sometimes they specifically want people to recruit with a gender balance, which means they have a focus to recruit candidates, the female candidates for certain jobs. Sometimes it is also region based, कि आप कोई नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन से बिलोंग करते हो तो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज गोइंग टू गिव यू एन एज. समटाइम्स इट कुड आल्सो बी फ्रॉम सर्टेन कास्ट एंड कम्युनिटीज व्हिच इज मोर फ्रॉम द पीएसयू साइड. इसके अलावा आप एक एक्सपेक्टेड सैलरी आईसी इंस्टीट्यूट के फॉर्म में भरोगे, व्हिच इज वेरी स्ट्रेंज. फ्रेशर से एक्सपेक्टेड सैलरीज भरवाना नहीं चाहिए, बट आपको भरना पड़ती है, वो मैंडेटरी फील्ड है. आप कोशिश करना कि आप एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी हाई सैलरी नहीं भरो. कोई कंपनी ऐसा नहीं बोलेगी कि तुमने एक्सपेक्टेड सैलरी 10 लाख ही भरी है और अब तुम 25 लाख की जॉब, 25 लाख की जॉब के लिए अपने आप को कैसे एलिजिबल मान रहे हो. फ्रेशर स्टेज पे 90% कंपनी का सैलरी बैंड फिक्स होता है. थोड़ा बहुत निगोशिएशन का स्टेज होता है, वो भी कुछ कंपनीज में. बाकी मोर और लेस दे आर फिक्स्ड विद व्हाट दे आर गोइंग टू ऑफर. So just have more opportunities by filling an expected salary which is not too low, which is not too high. What could that be a range? ये सब अपन बहुत डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे. आर्टिकलशिप कंप्लीशन डेट के बेसिस पे भी कई सारी कंपनी शॉर्टलिस्ट करती है. यानी अगर आपका आर्टिकलशिप कंप्लीट है, सम कंपनीज में प्रेफर यू अबव अदर कैंडिडेट्स. अगर नहीं है तो दे में वांट टू कीप यू इन द सेकंड लिस्ट और द बैक लिस्ट, क्योंकि उनको मालूम है कि आपके पास ज्यादा समय है जॉब्स ढूंढने का, इसलिए यू मे हैव अ हायर रेशियो टू ड्रॉप आउट. ये मैं आपको बहुत ही बेसिक और ब्रीफ में कुछ चीजें बता रहा हूं, सो दैट यू हैव सम इमीडिएट इनपुट्स बिफोर यू फिल अप द आईसीआई फॉर्म और यू प्रिपेयर योर रिज्यूमे. इन सब चीजों के बारे में डिटेल में अपना डिस्कशन किसमें होगा, व्हेन वी डू दिस कैंपस ट्रेनिंग अबाउट व्हिच आई एम गोइंग टू कम टू. रिज्यूम बेस्ड शॉर्टलिस्टिंग में किसी के कोई बेसिक क्वेरीज एंड डाउट्स हैं? इफ समबडी हैज. Soft skills, would that matter? So I think, I'll take that input from Ram sir. So resume, if we are seeing while screening the resumes, do soft skills do play any matter while selection shortlisting CA fresher candidate?
See, it does, Sarthak. You got to be good in your communication skills.
Right.
Both written, spoken. And I mean, you're a fresher. You can't be a chartered accountant with 15 or 20 years experience. But the bottom line is, you have now cleared, you become a chartered accountant. You should constantly keep upgrading your soft skills knowledge.
True.
You have to go on developing it. Very, very important. That's
Absolutely.
why in my classes, I tell my students that the soft skills is like you have to be an all-rounder in life. Cricket mein jo hota hai T20. Now, how does one decide who's the winner, who scores more runs? Now, if I was choosing my team for a T20 game, who would I choose? The best captain, the best bowler, the best off spinner, best leg spinner, who? Best 12th man. I would choose a person who's a all-rounder. You've got to be good in very many areas. Right, all along we've only focused on our technical knowledge. Now is the time to get on to the soft skill part of it.
Absolutely.
And in fact, I've got a very large collection of over 30,000 ebooks. Anybody is interested, I'll be only too happy to share it with you guys.
Oh,
Read. Nothing is rocket science. Read and develop yourselves.
Very true. In fact, sir, I wanted to share an experience here, and this is very inspiring. There was this candidate, he was from Chittorgarh. He secured an All India rank.
Okay.
He was good, obviously, in his academics, but he was not very good in his soft skills.
Okay.
He had initial issues to, get his first job. But finally, luckily, there are a lot of companies who do also appreciate the fact that you have that medal, you have scored that rank. So communication is something which you can develop.
Yes.
Now, this company recruited this guy, specifically told him that you need to work upon your soft skills. We are posting you in a factory location where you'll be a little more comfortable with the given kind of communication skills which you have, and you develop through, training and everything. So that guy, he worked in that particular company. He got a promotion. He got shifted to the corporate office. After that, he got a job in Mondelez. After that, now he has got a job in Diageo, and this is just in a span of around 6 years.
Yes.
And these companies and these jobs which he's doing, the profile which he's sharing, are those kind of profiles which do require excellent amount of soft skill, and he has kind of evolved and developed in that sense. And I think that's the beauty of the CA profession. एक बार ये लोग ठान लेंगे करना है तो ये सब कर लेंगे. So that's something which is inspiring. There are a lot of questions which have come up about CV, 1-page CV, 2-page CV. So usually 1 page is something which is very comfortable, but I don't want to create a borderline for you as of now, क्योंकि ये सारे answers subjective है. And in order to get a precise answer to this, we'll have to do more discussion. जैसे एक बहुत ही valid question आया sir. What he's mentioned is Jasbir Singh that I want to go for finance, but my articleship is primarily into tax and audit. So is that something which is going to affect my shortlisting? Number one, and second, can I, improve my CV so that it gets shortlisted more in the finance field? What would you say, sir?
Yeah, why not? See, theoretically, you have to be the best. Practically, I may not have had the experience. But if a chartered accountant is supposed to know something, you must know it. And the other important thing is, guys, don't get worried about Big Fours. And in Big Fours, I'm sure all of you know there are 2 prisons. One is the audit prison and the tax prison. So if I'm an audit, 3 years, I'm learning only audit. I know nothing about tax. And that's not going to help me in my career or in my future. Similarly, if I'm in tax, I'm not going to learn anything about audit. So you must get a mix. So don't get worried. You must do your articles in a fairly large mid-size firm, which is 3 to 4 partners. So now I get the experience of all the areas of work. That is very important.
Absolutely. In fact, CVs, Namita ma'am, there have been a lot of questions, 1-page CV, 2-page CV. What would you say? I think we should answer this now.
Me, you want me to answer it?
Yes, sir. Namita ma'am and you, either of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm not going to pay you 25 lakhs to warm a chair. Kursi ko garmi karna hai to a heater will do for 150 rupees. A heater will do a much better job. So I would suggest a 2-page CV. What have you done? What have you learned? What resources are you familiar with? What sections of the various laws, accounting standards? Because indirectly you will be driving the interview. They'll start asking you. The moment you put something, accounting standard, they'll start asking you questions in that area and it will go deeper and deeper. And since you worked in that area, you will be able to answer it. So I think a 2-page CV would be an ideal thing to have.
Wonderful. Namita ma'am, what is your opinion? And let's, have a kind of, an open dialogue and discussion. Let's, if you want to defer, please do.
Sure. I would say length does not determine anything. It has to be, you have to be authentic and you have to be sure about what you're putting in your CV. अगर आपने 2-page का target बना लिया है, but you're not sure about the things and you're just bragging, you're just adding your skills, that will not take you ahead because there will be questions on each and every word. There might be questions. So you have to be 100% sure of what you're putting in there.
I agree to, and so, let me conclude in terms of what Ram sir said and what Namita ma'am said. And, this is basically principally what this training is also all about. So, I'll share an instance. ऐसा हुआ था 2 साल, we started this training around 2 years ago. So I think this was the first training which happened. So there was the same discussion, 1-page CV or 2-page CV. बड़ा एकदम hot question है, हर बार आता है. और ये क्यों आता है? Because मैम मुझे लगता है शायद social media पे and a lot of references, people do have this rule book कि 1-page or 2-page ऐसा. तो क्या हुआ कि there was this kind of a discussion happening. Somebody suggested 1-page, somebody suggested 2-page. अब बच्चे हो गए confused कि यार ये क्या करूँ मैं? ये बोल रहे 1-page करो, ये बोल रहे 2-page करो. The point is, see, you need to understand when a company is recruiting you, it is hardly making any difference whether it is a one-page CV or a two-page CV for the person who's looking at your CV. Rather, what he's doing is he's actually seeing the content which is there in your CV, as Namita ma'am told. If you have a lot of things to display and it cannot be displayed in a one page, this is what Ram sir is saying. Take it to 2 pages. Showcase what you have learned. But if you feel that I really can compact things within a one particular page without missing out on any essential key ingredient, don't drag it to 2 pages and complete it in 1 page. Usually because people who have a lot of experience and are not freshers will not usually be able to work with a one-page CV, and their CV may run into like a thesis 2, 3, 4 pages. Whereas at a fresher level, if you have lesser experiences to show, or you can concisely portray your experiences in smaller bullet points and give a power packed one-pager thing, even that is fine. अब क्या होता है, इसकी मानसिकता है, अलग अलग थॉट प्रोसेस अपन बना लेते हैं कि कैसा थॉट प्रोसेस है, अरे यार कोई तो सारे सोचो 1000 सीवी 100 सीवी आए तो ऐसे कोई सीवी पलटाएगा क्या? तो देखो, सबसे पहले सीवी देखने वाला क्या करता है, आपका सीवी उठाएगा, पहले अटेम्प्ट देखेगा, फिर एक ग्लांस देगा। अब आपको उतने ग्लांस में उसको एक्साइट करना है कि यार आपने आर्टिकलशिप कहाँ से की है, आपका वर्क क्या है। अगर उसको कोई भी चीज उसके काम की मिल गई कि यार oh he has done FMCG related work and I am an FMCG company, let me just go through it what he has done, oh this guy looks relevant to me, फिर आपका 2 पेज का सीवी है तो वो 2 पेज का भी पड़ेगा, 1 का है तो 1 का भी पड़ेगा। सो ये अप्रोच आपको सबसे पहले डेवलप करना पड़ेगी। somebody is very well said, if you want to learn you need to ask the right questions. that does not mean कि आपका क्वेश्चन 1 पेज और 2 पेज सीवी का इंपॉर्टेंट गलत है या सही है। क्वेश्चन इज आपको ये समझ में आना चाहिए कि इवैल्यूएटर सीवी में क्या देखता है, क्या नंबर ऑफ पेजेस देखता है या कुछ और देखता है। अगर आप इस पे ट्रेन हो गए तो आप खुद अपने आप से सही सवाल पूछोगे और अपना सीवी सही प्रिपेयर करोगे। चलिए, एंड यू नो वी कैन टॉक अबाउट इन डेप्थ एंड लेंथ ऑन दीज थिंग्स। इनफैक्ट सीवी का ही एक सेशन होता है, नमिता मैम एंड राम सर टेल यू बोथ अबाउट द टेक्निकल थिंग्स एंड द नॉन टेक्निकल थिंग्स, हाउ टू पोर्ट्रे। इनफैक्ट मैं आपको कुछ फॉर्मेट्स भी अभी शेयर कर दूंगा। we've sorted certain CVs, good CVs, bad CVs, और अभी मैं आपको कुछ बताता भी हूँ यहाँ पे स्क्रीन में कि फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट वालों ने कैसे CV बनाए 1 पेज के, और वो देख के आपको लग रहा है यार इसको तो मैं जीवन में शॉर्टलिस्ट नहीं करूंगा, और वही फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट वाले ने कैसे एक CV बनाया 1 पेज का जिसको देख के आपको लग रहा है कि यार दिस इज मच मोर I mean this is conveying the information better. So a lot of things, डिजाइन का इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है, फ्लो कैसा होना चाहिए, फोटो आना चाहिए नहीं आना चाहिए, there is a logic behind everything, and that logic is something which we'll discuss in these training patterns. But obviously the idea is not just to tell you कि ट्रेनिंग में क्या होगा, थोड़ा थोड़ा इनपुट जो अपन यहाँ पे शेयर कर सकते हैं वो देंगे। चलिए, so thank you, in fact very short and crisp input Namita ma'am and Ram sir for sharing that. After resume अगली चीज क्या होती है, टेस्ट। What has happened nowadays is a lot of companies have started taking written tests even for chartered accountants. ये टेस्ट या तो एप्टीट्यूड साइकोमेट्रिक टेस्ट होते हैं, बट कुछ कंपनीज ऐसी भी है जो वैल्यूएशन रोल्स में आपको लेती है, तो वो बकायदा आपको बोल देती है ये कंपनी की एनुअल रिपोर्ट है, इसको सर्च करो और 1 दिन बाद हमें इसके ऊपर वैल्यूएशन की रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर करके दो। ऐसी भी कंपनीज हैं जो आपको एनुअल रिपोर्ट की रिसर्च के ऊपर रिपोर्टिंग करने को बोलेगी, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट की रिपोर्टिंग प्रिपेयर करके वर्चुअल इंटरव्यू हो रहा है, 1 दिन बाद आप रिपोर्ट प्रिपेयर करके दो। इसमें बहुत सारे AI टूल्स ऑनलाइन सब कुछ अवेलेबल होता है, आप यूज करोगे, वो चाहते हैं वो यूज करें, क्यों? क्योंकि दे डोंट वांट यू टू बी डूइंग जस्ट द हार्ड वर्क, दे वांट टू यू अंडरस्टैंड द लॉजिक्स, और जहां भी स्मार्ट वर्क यूज कर सकते हो वो करो। तो टेस्ट के भी वेरिड फॉर्मेट्स होते हैं। आई एम नॉट सेइंग एवरी कंपनी इज यूजिंग दैट, बट रिक्रूटिंग कंपनीज में से 20% कंपनीज अब ऐसी हो गई हैं जो रिटन टेस्ट अलग अलग फॉर्म के यूज करती है। Psychometric and aptitude are the most common ones, but you also have logical reasoning test, Excel based test, valuation reporting test. कई सारी कंपनियां टेस्ट ऐसे भी लेती है, they will ask you to fill an application form. उसमें कुछ क्वेश्चंस होंगे। What difference did you make in your articleship? Cite any one instance of your articleship where you think you contributed or you came out with an adverse situation. Did you had any conflict during your articleship period? How did you overcome it? Cite any instance of showing a leadership quality. इस तरह के सवाल रहते हैं और आपको बकायदा उनको क्या करना है, you have to type those questions and give those. And that becomes a basis for shortlisting. And ये normally जितनी high paying jobs वाली companies होती है उसमें ये process follow किया जाता है। This is something which is very common under MBA consulting firms and all, because they try to assess you from those things which you have written there. एंड उनको ये पता है कि वो आपको टाइम दे रहे हैं कि 2-3 दिन दे रहे हैं इसको लिख के देने के लिए. सो दे नो दैट यू कैन काइंड ऑफ डेवलप इट. तो उनको डिसाइफर करना भी आता है कि आपने कहीं से पूछा होगा, समझ के लिखा होगा, तो उसमें से कैसे की कंटेंट निकालना है. एंड दैट इज ऑल्सो एन आर्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ टू राइट दोज एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस. एंड देन यू हैव ग्रुप डिस्कशंस. एक कॉमन फॉर्मेट जीडीज का जो आपका होता है वो टॉपिक बेस्ड होता है. टॉपिक्स के अलावा इन कंपनीज विच आर हैविंग मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनिंग लीडरशिप प्रोग्राम, हाँ केस स्टडी बेस्ड भी होता है. मुझे याद है जब मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया था, दिस वाज 2003. सो वी वर गिवन अ केस स्टडी बेस्ड जीडी. सो आई गेव माय इंटरव्यू इन मैरिको एंड आईटीसी. मैरिको में देयर वाज अ केस बेस्ड स्टडी. वो कोई एक प्रोडक्ट लेके आने वाले थे, उन्होंने उसका एक्चुअल केस दे दिया था और बोला था कि इसको आप लोग डिस्कस करो और इसके बेसिस पे आप बताइए कि हमारी क्या स्ट्रैटेजी होना चाहिए टू लॉन्च दिस प्रोडक्ट. And ITC में the case study was they had given us situation and that was verbally explained to us कि ये ऐसी situation है and that was a conflicting situation. And उसमें बोला था कि आप बताओ कि इस particular case में who do you think is correct, who do you think is not correct and stuff like that. तो ये एक business side पर है, एक more on ethics side और controversial things और ऐसे अलग अलग format होते हैं. तो ग्रुप डिस्कशन इज नॉट जस्ट अ टॉपिक दे दिया आपको और बोला कि यार इंडिया की जीडीपी के ऊपर बात करनी है अपने को, या ट्रम्प आया तो उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा, या लव मैरिज, अरेंज मैरिज, या सोशल मीडिया फॉर और अगेंस्ट. इट इज सीएस के केस में यू विल फाइंड अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स which could be other than current affairs and abstract topic, but also topics relating to business and all. So that is something कि आपको क्या करना है, you have to just be a little more, आपको क्या पता होना चाहिए. अच्छा ये ऐसा है, आपने 1-2 जीडीपी इस तरह की प्रैक्टिस कर ली, यू विल बी फीलिंग वेरी कंफर्टेबल. फिर आपको क्या होगा, जब वहां पर ही आएगा तो आप बोलोगे अच्छा यार इसमें तो मेरे को एक स्ट्रैटेजी बताई थी यार सर ने, बिजनेस वाले में स्वॉट कर लो, पेन पेपर हो, कहीं पे व्हाइट बोर्ड मिले तो जाके पेन से लिख दो, ये स्ट्रेंथ वीकनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी थ्रेट है, पूरा टेंशन अपने पास आ जाएगा. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी स्ट्रैटेजीज डिस्कस करेंगे, इससे जीडी क्रैक करते हैं. और जीडी एक बहुत ही ट्रिकी दोस्तों एरिया है, बिकॉज मैंने देखा है देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु सिक्योर ऑल इंडिया रैंक्स एंड दे आर थ्रैश्ड आउट इन ग्रुप डिस्कशंस. व्हाई? बिकॉज दे आर नॉट जस्ट वेल प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. फिर ऐसा लगता है यार ये तो गलत बेसिस है सिलेक्शन के तरीके का. ठीक है, बहुत ही सही बोल रहे हो तुम, गलत है तो जाके लिंक्डइन पे एक पोस्ट डाल दो कि यार ये कंपनी का सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस सही नहीं है. इससे किसको फर्क पड़ेगा? तुम्हारी ऑडियंस सुनेगी, वो बोलेगी यार ये सही बोल रहा है, तुम्हें भी लगेगा सही है, पर जिसके हाथ में जॉब आ गई उसको कोई गलत नहीं लग रहा है. इनफैक्ट वही जॉब अगर तुमको मिल जाती तो तुम ये पोस्ट नहीं डालते कि यार ये जीडी का प्रोसेस गलत है, तुम बोलते यार बहुत बढ़िया प्रोसेस था, मजा आ गया. So the idea is not to evaluate or question the process of the company. The idea is very simple. Whatever is their process, I need to crack that and I need to secure my job into it. और फिर जीडी के बाद फाइनली आपका क्या होता है, पर्सनल इंटरव्यू, which is obviously the most the most common method of selection, and this is something which is common across all process. आजकल कई सारी कंपनियों में वीडियो इंटरव्यूज भी शुरू हो गए, एआई बेस्ड भी हो गए. आप आंसर दोगे तो उसके बेसिस पे वो सुन के ऑटोमेटिकली आपको अगला क्वेश्चन पूछेगा और वो रिकॉर्ड होएगा, उसके बेसिस पे आप शॉर्टलिस्ट होगे. फिर फाइनल इंटरव्यू डेफिनेटली पर्सन टू पर्सन होता है, 1-to-1 और 2-to-1. इन दिस देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच आर आस्क्ड, और बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें होती है जो आपको लगता है कि यार इसका कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है, या मैं कैजुअली कैंडिडली जवाब दे देता हूँ और कंपनी उसको अलग तरह से इवैल्यूएट करती है. तो देयर आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स लाइक फर्दर स्टडी करना है, फैमिली बैकग्राउंड, ये सब आपके क्या करता है, इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस को अफेक्ट करता है. एंड दिस इज द फाइनल वे, एचआर और टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू, जिसके बेसिस पे फाइनली आपको जॉब मिलती है. तो व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दिस इज कि अब आपको तैयारी जो करना है ना, वो इन सब एरियाज पे करना है. If you really want that, you want to kind of increase your job opportunities. You want to actually get hired at a very higher pay. So coming upon the last thing, I want to get hired at a higher pay. How should I do it? ये फनल तो मुझे साफ साफ समझ में आ गई कि पहले रिज्यूम बेस्ड शॉर्टलिस्टिंग, टेस्ट हो गए, जीडी हो गए, पर्सनल इंटरव्यू हो गए. अब आप लोग मुझे अपनी प्रोबेबिलिटी बढ़ाना है कि मेरे को ज्यादा जॉब्स मिले और ज्यादा पैसे वाले जॉब्स मिले. तो बताइए, what is your suggestion, what is your input? Chats में डालो. चलिए, Devisha wants to ask something. We will give you, we'll do open house तो अपन यही डिस्कशन करेंगे. But before I answer your question, you need to answer mine. चलिए, किसी के मन में आ रहा है बोले सर ऐसा बोलने वाले फास्ट कैंपस ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन करो तो इससे आप हायर होगे एट अ हायर पैकेज. So I actually wanted to say that, but इतना direct marketing करना ठीक नहीं है. In fact, what you'll have to do is you'll have to increase your probability of selection. You'll have to apply at more places. Obviously, अपन training तो ठीक है अपने लिए better करेंगे, उससे अपन definitely we are going to secure more jobs. But what we also need to do is we need to be making ourselves available at different places. आज क्या होता है दोस्तों, Parle-G still runs as the highest running biscuit. Why? Because you will find it in every shop. Any grocery store you go, you will find a Parle-G there. The point is, आप available होगे सारे platforms पर at different places. Then in that case, your opportunity of selection automatically will get higher. तो मुझे सबसे पहली चीज ये समझना है कि अगर किसी के दिमाग में प्योर ऐसा है कि आईसीआई कैंपस मेरा ओनली सोर्स है जॉब्स इकट्ठे करने का, तो यू आर एब्सोल्युटली रॉन्ग. लास्ट टाइम 20,000 कैंडिडेट में से 15,000 अप्लाइड फॉर आईसीआई कैंपस, 4,500 odd people got offers, 3,700 odd people accepted it, which is hardly 26%, which means 1 out of every 4. Which also means that around 11,000 plus job seekers didn't get their job from ICI campus. और ये जो 3,700 लोगों को ICI campus से जॉब मिला था, इन्होंने भी ज्वाइन कितनों ने किया उन कंपनीज को ये नहीं पता है. They just accepted the offers. Might be they dropped out. और अगर आप ये 3,700 का नंबर देखोगे और इसमें आप ICICI बैंक जो ग्लोबल डिलीवरी सेंटर्स है, जो ऑफशोर ऑडिटिंग करते हैं, वो वाली कंपनीज अगर आप हटा दोगे, दैट नंबर कुड फर्दर गो डाउन बाय मे बी 20, 30, 40%. अगर आप बिग फोर्स के रिक्रूटमेंट और हटा दोगे तो ये नंबर आधे से कम हो सकता है. तो इसका मतलब क्या है दोस्तों, आप प्लीज एक चीज समझना, प्लीज जस्ट डोंट रिलाई ऑन आईसीआई कैंपस. सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स इवैल्यूएट कर. आईसीआई
एब्सोल्युटली
फास्ट का सीए कैंपस होता है, उसके लिए आपको क्या करना है, यू जस्ट हैव टू गो, इट्स अ फ्री प्रोसेस फॉर द कैंडिडेट्स. यू हैव टू रजिस्टर एट द फास्ट वेबसाइट व्हिच इज fast-india.com. दिस पर्टिकुलर वेबसाइट, यू जस्ट हैव टू गिव ऑल योर डिटेल्स, fill in those details, और उसके बाद we will call you for different jobs which you are eligible for. जॉब साइट्स होती है, नौकरी एंड ऑल, यू शुड अप्लाई देयर. कंसल्टेंट्स आपके पास कोई आते हैं और आपको लगता है जेन्युइन है, अच्छी कंपनी है, आपके इंटरेस्ट की, अप्लाई करो. कंपनी की पोर्टल्स में भी ऑप्शन होता है एप्लीकेशन करने का. अगर आपको लगता है कि उस कंपनी की पोर्टल में किसी ने अप्लाई किया है और उसको कॉल आया है तो अप्लाई कर दो. अदरवाइज बहुत ज्यादा फायदा नहीं होता है. आईटी कंपनीज नॉर्मली बहुत प्रॉपरली अपने वेबसाइट पे जो एप्लीकेशंस आती है उनको स्क्रीन करती है, मेजॉरिटी कंपनीज नहीं करती है. इसके अलावा एम्प्लॉय रेफरेंसेस, अगर आपको नॉन एम्प्लॉय है जो आपका रेज्यूम लेके फॉरवर्ड करेगा और अगर आपके पास इंटरव्यू का कॉल नहीं आता है तो आप उसे कॉल करके बोल सकते हो यार क्या हुआ जरा चेक करके बताओ, और वो करेगा. अगर ऐसा है तो अप्लाई करना. पर ये जो लिंक्डइन और सब जगह आते हैं कि आपके सीवी शेयर करो, मैं फॉरवर्ड करूंगा, यहाँ पे डाल के आप अपना सीवी जैम करा दोगे, वो सिस्टम में चले जाएगा. आपको कोई कंसल्टेंट वहां पर लाइनअप नहीं करा पाएगा इंटरव्यू के लिए क्योंकि आप ऑलरेडी उनके सिस्टम में हो. और वो डेटाबेस अगर कंपनी बहुत अच्छे से स्क्रीन नहीं करती है क्योंकि खूब सारा जंक उसमें आ चुका है, तो योर कैंडिडेचर विल जस्ट बी लेफ्ट टू बी सीन एट द लास्ट. हेडहंटिंग करो, लिंक्डइन पे ढूंढो तुम्हारी कंपनी ऑफ चॉइस है तो पता करो कि ये कंपनी में कौन रिक्रूट करने वाला बंदा है, उससे डायरेक्ट कनेक्ट बनाओ. सीनियर्स पता कर सकते हो. फास्ट के कम्युनिटी इज ऑफ 1,35,000 प्लस चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. आज व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे ऐसी कोई चैट चल रही थी तो मेरे को बोले यार सर आप देखो, उस चैट में कुछ एक डिस्कशन चल रहा था कि सर फास्ट सीए कैंपस ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन करें या कोई दूसरी कैंपस ट्रेनिंग ज्वाइन करें. तो उसमें किसी भाई ने जो बहुत सारे दूसरी भी पोस्ट डाल रहा था उसने डाल दिया, बोले आपको दूसरी करना चाहिए क्योंकि वहां पे 13,500 चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की कम्युनिटी है. तो मैंने बोला अच्छा ऐसा भी होता है क्या. तो फिर मैंने बोला कि चलो आज मैं सेशन में शेयर करूंगा. वी हैव अ कम्युनिटी ऑफ 1,35,000 चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स. कैसे 2008 से लेके अभी तक सेम इसी वेबसाइट से 60 प्लस कॉर्पोरेट्स के साथ वी डू रिक्रूटमेंट्स. सारे के सारे जितने लोग रिक्रूट हुए हैं ये ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ पहली जॉब फास्ट करियर से लेते हैं. इनको सीनियर 2 साल अगर इनको कहीं है स्विच करना है तो दे विल कम बैक टू इट. वी डू हायरिंग स्टिल सीएफओ लेवल्स. तो ये सब कनेक्टेड है और ये कम्युनिटी आपके लिए अच्छी है. तो इफ यू हैव एनी पर्टिकुलर कंपनी जिसमें आपको लगता है तो शायद ही कोई ऐसी कंपनी होगी जहां पे सीएस काम कर रहे हैं और वो फास्ट करियर्स के डेटाबेस में नहीं होंगे. तो आपको उनसे कनेक्ट करना है, आपको वो करना है head and I can introduce you if they are connected with me. We can help you source those people. But what I'm trying to tell you here is आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to take that initiative to at least know कि यार this is the company, this is the place where you want to go if you want to do a TEDx. ऐसे आप अपनी अपॉर्चुनिटी सबसे पहले बढ़ाओ और फिर उसके बाद बात करते हैं अपन ट्रेनिंग की. अपॉर्चुनिटी बढ़ गई, मेरे पास कॉल आ गया, कॉल आने के बाद मेरा नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होना चाहिए? ऑब्वियसली मुझे उस कॉल को कन्वर्ट करना है. अब इस कॉल को मुझे कन्वर्ट करना है, दैट मीन्स आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट अ कॉल इनटू अ सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस. फॉर दैट व्हाट आई शुड बी डूइंग नेक्स्ट. तब इसके लिए ना आई विल फर्स्ट, मैंने बहुत सारी बातें करी है एंड आपके बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस होंगे. वील डू एन ओपन हाउस, बट बिफोर आई डू दैट आई विल फर्स्ट वांट टू हैव सम इनपुट्स, starting first with Namita ma'am, and then Ram sir ke saath we'll have an first his inputs, and I'm sure with his experience we can ask him a lot of questions. So ma'am, please, if you could share what things all these people should keep in mind at this particular stage, particularly with respect to their job opportunities to get hired at a higher package.
Okay. So you all are CAs, right? So how you are going to differentiate yourself from others depends on your mindset more now. Because overall you are on a common platform now. So only your mindset is going to take you ahead. This is what I strongly feel. And I believe in good communication. I am a TEDx and Josh Talk speaker. So I personally feel how you communicate, it reflects a lot, and a lot of things are dependent on it. So as far as communication is concerned, your physical communication as well as your digital communication, both will have an impact. So your LinkedIn profile, your online resumes, this is one story. And second story is how you present yourself in the interview. So if you go with a little doubtful mindset, that is going to show in your every answer, in your body language. So I'll work on your psychology, how you think. And obviously there'll be a lot of mock interviews. I mean, there will be everything. You will not feel when you enter that office, that room for the interview, you will not feel that you're not prepared. You'll be like, oh, this is again one of the interviews. It will become a normal thing for you. So जो एंजाइटी हमको फील होती है इंटरव्यू में, वो आपको नहीं फील होगी, बिकॉज हम इतनी बार सब चीजों को प्रैक्टिस कर चुके होंगे. आपके आईब्रो के मूवमेंट्स तक बता देते हैं कि आप कितने नर्वस हैं. सो आई वर्क ऑन द बॉडी लैंग्वेज, ऑन हाउ यू फ्रेम योर सेंटेंसेस, और हम बहुत बेसिक लेवल से स्टार्ट करेंगे. बेसिक से लेके बहुत आगे तक हमें जाना है.
Wow. So, I wanted to introduce ma'am first before she spoke to you. Sorry, after she spoke to you, because that it makes more sense.
Okay.
Namita ma'am is number one. She's a TEDx speaker. She's been into Josh Talk. She has helped 40,000 plus people. She's trained them to get better jobs, better soft skills, better presentation, better personality. She's a certified trader. And she is a global behavioral skill trainer and corporate trainer expert. So, she comes particularly from this training background. And, I'll tell you one thing. When we were doing this class campus training, so we thought, yaar, ye CA logos hai na, CA logi zyada अच्छे से connect कर पाएंगे. But then we thought, yaar, CA से connect करेगा तो वो वही वाली बातें घुमा फिरा के बोलेगा जो हमको पता है already, right? और interviewer वो चीज नहीं चाहता है. They want different skill sets. So that is why we were then, kind of looking कि यार कैसे करें, and then finally we met ma'am. फिर हमने बोला यार मैम को CA से, she has so much wide experience. We got a lot of good feedbacks about her, and then we did her training. In fact, she took the training last time. It was wonderful. But I'm talking about, before that. So then we thought कि यार ठीक है, I mean she's an excellent trainer, but वो कैसे connect करेंगे CA वाले से, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो different है. The great part was she was also associated in the GMCS with the CA students and their training. So that helped, to have that both एक आपका CA का orientation है, flavor है, and then you have the core skill sets which are into training. So that is basically, what is about Namita ma'am. Now coming on to, Ram sir, your inputs, please.
Okay. Couple of things I want to tell you guys. Don't get worried. Currently, as per the institute, there's a shortage of 150,000 chartered accountants in India. And by 2047, when we will turn 100, how do we turn 100 on 15th of August 2047? 100 years of independence. There's going to be a shortfall of 30 lakh chartered accountants. Every one of you will get a job, so don't get worried about that at all. And my advice is, whichever job comes, take it. Because some experience is better than no experience. Some money is better than no money. But at the same time, keep trying for better jobs. Whatever is your passion, you must chase your passion. You must achieve your passion. Only then you will be happy in life. I want to ask you guys a question. Very simple, basic question. What is the purpose of attending a job interview? When you attend a job interview, what should you do? Can anyone answer this, please? If I attend a job interview, what should I do?
Anybody who wants to answer can raise their hand or simply
Yeah,
unmute.
please.
Pradeep has said get selected. So we are having on chat. So I'll just read it out, sir.
Yeah, I can see it.
Acha, okay, great.
Yeah. The objective is not to get selected. The objective is not to get the job. The objective is to get a job offer. You understood? The objective, if I attend an interview, I must get a job offer. Then I've got 3 offers. Then you will choose which is best for you. My first offer is in Ukraine. The second is in Gaza. And the third is in whichever city you're in. Which will you choose? And I can use offers to negotiate better salaries. So the objective is you must work out with the job offer. That is very, very critical when you attend a job interview. Anyway, as we go along, we've got various sessions with you guys. We'll tell you how to sharpen your resumes, how to prepare a very good resume. And similarly, it's the same with GDs and also with interviews.
Very true. Bang on. In fact, so this is basically, what the difference is. आपका mindset एकदम clear है कि भैया मेरे को नौकरी नहीं करना है अभी तो मुझे job offer इकट्ठा करना है. Then I'll pick and choose. क्योंकि क्या है ना, when you go into an interview with one offer in hand, आपका confidence level ही एकदम different होता है.
Correct.
अभी तो बहुत है अपने पास, and it shows in fact on your face, and it's all about selling yourself. Sir, we also have Sridhar here. Sridhar joined the batch last time, and Sridhar, are you here? Wow.
Yeah, hi Tatak sir.
Hi
Hi.
Sridhar, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Great. So, sir, Sridhar is your student in the previous class campus training batch. He's into Tata Communications, and Sridhar, so we called him to guide the students, also share some
Wonderful,
feedback.
wonderful. He'll be able to add a lot of value, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I joined the last batch, campus training batch, and first of all, I was not sure which domain which I should go with, and then your domain guidance session came in very handy, where we met various people, various experts from all the domains, and that really helped me decide a particular domain where I should pursue. And after that, we also had the domain interviews, specifically mock interview session with the domain we chose. And apart from all of that, the grooming which we got from Namita ma'am, that was really amazing. She was available and every time on the WhatsApp. I used to share my resume with her, got that reviewed. She also asked us to prepare videos of how we are developing ourselves, the shortcomings in those videos, how we are going to answer some very basic questions like tell me about yourself, how. And after that, I had around 2, 3 offers in my hand, and then I was facing difficulty with negotiating the salary which I wanted. Then that also came in handy. Namita ma'am also helped in that as well. And coming to Ram sir, he was just brilliant with the technical training. Like he helped us a lot in the technical round. And the best part about the previous batch was ki I did not feel that I am in a very large circle of people and just attending a virtual class. I felt that I am personally being attended to. I am able to reach out to the mentors, the guides around there. And also, again, coming back to the domain selection thing, we all know ki we need good connections in order to get better jobs, to get into companies. that's when your experts came in. They all shared their LinkedIn, and when I reached them out, ki I attended your session with Sarthak sir, they all replied back to me. They all referred me to various companies. So that was a really good opportunity to connect with people as well. That's
Wow, Sridhar. Wonderful. In fact, so glad that you could get some benefit out of what we did. And basically, ये training का idea क्या है? See, this is actually it's really has no commercial motive and all. The pure idea is that we could assess because we're doing placements with so many other companies. Ram sir, particularly, personally, he's so very connected and attached to students because he has no need to kind of do anything, but he still wants and he feels so connected. I mean, आप बात करोगे ना तो आपको लगेगा कि यार he has so much of experience, but he talks so much sense and he's so connected with people and students and with the current community. And so with Namita ma'am, that when you get those kind of small finishing touches and all, so you'll feel that there's this improvement which is happening. And in fact, I was so very glad ki Sridhar, you said I was also listening and understanding how this all has benefited. So I'm really proud to have this training and have people like you associated with it and getting benefit out of it. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Great. So now what we can do is we can have an open house. You guys have any questions and all, we can basically have a look at those particular questions. One by one, you can raise your hands and I would take that up. उससे पहले मैं आपको CV का मैंने promise किया था कि मैं बताऊंगा तो एक बार आपको ये बता देता हूँ. 2 मिनट के लिए स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा हूँ, then we'll do the open house for questions. Okay. तो ये कुछ ऐसे बहुत सारे resources आपके साथ शेयर करते हैं. CV resumes में ये मैं folder आपके साथ आज शेयर कर दूंगा. अपना WhatsApp ग्रुप पे आप लोगों को ज्वाइन कर लेना. इसमें क्या किया है, we've classified CVs, good CVs, bad CVs, ideal CVs, non-ideal CVs. I'll just randomly show you one. So let's say, for example, this is the screen is visible, right? It looks to be, yeah. ये देखो ये एक CV है, ये फर्स्ट अटेम्प्टर का है. इसने क्या किया, एक नॉर्मल CV बनाया, इसमें सारी डिटेल डाली, एक बेसिक सी एरर देखो. ये CV इज अ गुड आइडियल CV. इसने क्या किया है, बकायदा सब जगह लिखा है फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट. ठीक है. अब मैं आपको ऐसे ही एक और CV बता रहा हूँ. And these are some samples of not so very good CVs. I'll just randomly pick one.
Sarthak, can you please share all the CVs with me also, please?
Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm just opening these CVs. You can just have a random look at this. जैसे ये first attempt बंदे का CV, we've just clipped out his name and ये सब real CVs है. We've clipped out the name and other, individual details. अब आप देखो, CV है, ये है 1 page CV. इसने सारी information डाली है. But आप बताओ ऐसा 1 page का CV क्या काम का है? First, he is a first attempt guy, but इसने कहीं specify भी नहीं किया है कि I've done everything in the first attempt. अब आप भले या तो ईयर से देखो कि अच्छा 18, 19, 22 हाँ मतलब सब फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में हुआ होगा, बट देन दिस रियली डजंट मेक्स टू मच ऑफ सेंस. क्यों? क्योंकि रिक्रूटर तो क्या करेगा, वो कीवर्ड ढूंढेगा. सो द आइडिया इज ये छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं व्हिच मेक्स ऑल द डिफरेंस, एंड मेनी अ टाइम्स ऐसा होता है कैंडिडेट बोलता है सर मेरे फ्रेंड का शॉर्टलिस्टिंग हो गया, मेरा नहीं हुआ, जबकि मेरी प्रोफाइल उससे बेहतर है. रैंक्स में हमने देखा ऐसा कि बच्चा स्टूडेंट सेज कि सर मेरी ऑल इंडिया 25th रैंक है, मेरी शॉर्ट लिस्टिंग नहीं है और 30th वाले की आ गई. आई एम नॉट सेइंग CV इज द ओनली बेसिस, बट देयर आर सो मेनी अदर फैक्टर्स टू मेकिंग एन इम्पैक्ट. चलिए, सो लेट्स हैव द सेशन. सौरभ हैज सम क्वेश्चन. सौरभ प्लीज. Saurabh, you're not audible. You can put the questions in the chat. We will take it up there. Okay. I'll take Jugal's question to start with. He says, I completed my articleship in IDT domain and now I want to transition to stat audit domain. With my technical knowledge, can I proceed to interview for a CA fresher load? I would appreciate a response from Ram sir or Sarthak sir. Ram sir first.
Which domain have you have your experience?
Sir, articleship he has done in IDT, but he wants to switch to stat audit.
Yes, why not? But theoretically, you must be thorough with your audit area, stat audit area, especially companies law, accounting standards, costing standards, auditing standards. So everybody doesn't get an opportunity to work on all areas. But theoretically, nothing stops you from being the best. And you have to have very sound theoretical knowledge. Very, very important. So don't get worried. I don't have the practical experience. It's okay. They're not going to treat you negatively on that score.
Same pin, sir. Absolutely. And just to add on this, see, start audit, is so you have this O positive, B positive funda, na? It's a universal acceptor. So start audit is a universal acceptor. आपने IDT में किया है, tax में किया है, you want to get into start audit, they'll accept everybody. टैक्स में ऐसा नहीं होता है, कुछ कंपनीज का ऐसा होता है दैट आपका टैक्स स्पेसिफिक रिक्वायरमेंट है, तो अगर आपकी टैक्स की आर्टिकलशिप एक्सपीरियंस है तो दे विल प्रेफर, और क्योंकि वहां पे जॉब्स कम होते हैं तो उनको वो लोग मिल जाते हैं. बट स्विचिंग ओवर टू स्टार्ट शुड नॉट बी अ प्रॉब्लम ऑल टुगेदर.
Another thing I'd like to share, Sarthak, when I was in Calcutta,
Yes.
the Big Four, I think it was Deloitte. So 3 साल एक लड़का आता था to do stat audit, and he would only do debtors. Okay. 3 साल I have seen him only doing debtors. He'll get that piece of paper, file में डालेगा. Manager will say good boy, partner will say well done. Then after ITC, he goes to HUL. He goes to Tata's, he goes where? What do you think he's going to do there? Only debtors. So he's become a debtor specialist 3 साल में. He's not learned anything else. You understand? So it really doesn't make a difference.
True.
I may not have had practical experience, but theoretically you should be rock solid.
Correct. At fresher stage, you will get opportunity. Your resume will not be a hindrance.
Yeah.
Plus, once you go there, then it's purely how you perform in your interview.
Yes. See, another question I'd like to answer. I just quickly saw a message on messages. One gentleman was asking, is it wrong to mention the name of the client? Say, you can mention the name of the client. Only a practicing chartered accountant cannot mention the name of the client. Now, let's say I've audited ITC, I've audited HUL, I've audited Reliance. These are all very good companies. And I've definitely learned some good things from them. So please mention it. Nothing wrong if you mention the name of the clients.
Perfect.
That will add a lot of more value to your resume.
तो ये राम सर का नॉलेज देखो, ऑडिट में पढ़ा रहा हूँ, बट कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी का एकदम बैंग ऑन आंसर सर ने दिया है, बिकॉज यू नॉट कवर्ड अंडर दैट कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी ब्रीच. वेरी ट्रू. सो यू कैन मेंशन. So consulting firms, CA firms or corporate, which one to prefer if we want long-term growth?
Okay, I'll answer that.
Yeah.
See, as a fresh chartered accountant, you must work in manufacture. Only then you will be able to use all your knowledge and skills which you read for your CA program. Do not join service industry. Later on in life, you may have to make compromises. You get married, wife is working, children's education. In the beginning of your career, you must get into manufacture. Second option is join a very good CA practicing firm, which is there in various consulting services. Again, there you will be able to use all your skills. And thirdly, startup. Nothing like a startup. You may not get sufficient money, but in terms of experience and learning, it is far, far superior. Because in a startup, you're virtually number 2. After the CEO, you're number 2 because you know every aspect of that business, records, books, everything. So join a startup. In terms of experience, you'll learn a lot of things.
Absolutely, because you get a hands-on experience there.
Yes.
True.
Sir, I have few questions, 1 or 2.
Yeah, Raman.
So first of all, my perspective into my future is I want to have my own startup, but it won't come at this point of time. So for initial 1 or 2 years, I have to work somewhere, either my own practice or something like. So what would you prefer, sir? What would you advise? I should go. My articleship I have completed from Deloitte Hyderabad. Okay, so what would you advise to me that I should go for a job or I should do something else in initial 1 or 2 years before having my own startup?
So see, there are a couple of things. Number one, it's a question about number one, capital. So if you feel that you need to build capital for yourself, then you need to have a financial support because you'll need that at the initial stage. And with some capital in mind, you can start up your startup keeping the commercial consideration secondary and keeping the purpose as primary. So that is number one. Second, if you want to start up at this stage, your instinct, your energy levels, your killer go-to attitude would be much more in comparison to the same thing which will happen probably 4 years, 5 years down the line. So immediately getting into startup, you have that particular advantage. But the problem would be that because you're starting this up purely with a purpose or with an idea in mind, you may not really have the different skill sets which could possibly be required for developing a business. So if you first do something in a corporate, it will give you that particular edge to develop that.
And confidence.
Correct. So develop that network, have that confidence, have an open mindset to things, look at the bigger picture, see what's happening around. So in that sense, one, if you're absolutely sure that, okay, I have this idea, this is going to rock on, I have related people, co-founders with me who can start up and I can get going, maybe then yes. Otherwise, in all cases, I would strongly suggest have some exposure. If you can get something in a startup itself, it will even further help you to develop those kind of networks. Your focus should be on getting into those areas and jobs where you can develop a good network, because that is going to be most helpful for you in your startup journey.
Sir, I have a question. Actually, sir, I have dropped the CA, unable to clear it. I was looking to do CPA because there was a lot of buzz around it. So should I go for CPA? It will give a corporate height in my career, or it's just a buzz right now?
It will, for sure.
See, I would like to answer this. CPA has got a lot of value if you're going to the US.
No, sir, not going to US, in India only.
In India, CPA does not have too much value. Similarly, ACCA does not have too much value in India. A chartered accountant will get 40 lakhs, whereas an ACCA would get about 10-12 lakhs. Same thing with CPA.
In comparison to CPA versus ACCA, which course should I pursue?
CA, nothing to beat the CA course.
No, CPA versus ACCA, which course should I pursue?
ACCA would be a better course.
Okay.
Because it is more aligned to our laws and our various standards. Whereas CPA is totally different. The American system of accounting is totally different.
It will give me a corporate height. It will give me a career if I pursue in it. After dropping CA, I should leave the corporates.
You must pursue your CA and become a chartered accountant. That is top priority. It's okay, don't worry, for various reasons you didn't go through, but you must work on it. Take a break, 1 year, 2 year, never mind. Go for a holiday. Clear mind, come back, and this is going to really help you in your career.
Okay, sir.
Great. So now we have a few text questions to answer. I'm just kind of summarizing because there are a lot of questions which are relating to domain. Many people have said, and we've already kind of answered this, just for the sake of answering you once again. I have done my articleship in area 1 and I want to do now area 2. So will I be able to switch over from area 1 and area 2? ये बहुत ही normal है कि एक fresher candidate को क्या करना है, उसने जो किया है वो तो पक्का नहीं करना है. Because the very simple fundamental is that an unknown angel is what we are looking at, and everything what we know is a devil for us. So in that sense, many people want to switch over. सिर्फ और सिर्फ कुछ ऐसी डोमेन्स होती है जैसे टैक्स हो गया, particularly direct tax, जहां पे वो स्पेसिफिकली चाहेंगे people who have done their articleship into that area. Internal audit में भी ऐसा थोड़ा सा preference होता है. Apart from that, anybody recruiting a fresher is purely recruiting you for the fact that you are a chartered accountant who knows how to work hard, get into details, and they will leave everything else to the interview process, and that is where they will decide. This is by and large, in the majority of the cases, what's going to happen. इसके beyond किसी कंपनी का स्पेसिफिक हो सकता है कि मुझे फाइनेंस चाहिए तो फाइनेंस के बंदे का ही बैकग्राउंड चाहिए, बट मैं मेरे एक्सपीरियंस से बता रहा हूँ, 2-3 आप ऐसे रोल्स छोड़ दो, बाकी सारे के सारे रोल्स में companies are not hellbound on the fact कि आपका articleship exposure same area में है, because they know you're a fresher, you are a trainee there, you cannot be expected to have same set of exposures. It's just at the last stage of interview, if there are two candidates where I'm confused which to select amongst these two, and somebody has done similar kind of work in articleship and somebody is not, maybe he'll get that preference at that stage, but definitely not at the initial stage. Second, sir, Pradeep has think कि attempts उनके बहुत सारे लगे हैं, and for multiple reasons, family issues and all could not clear. Can I hide 4 attempts while applying for job? I will definitely not suggest that you should hide your attempts, whatever it is, just don't mention your number of attempts and mention, which month and year you cleared. In your resume, in fact, जहाँ तक आपका CA Institute का है, वहाँ पे multiple attempts आपको डालना पड़ेंगे. One. And apart from that, general आपका वही है कि इंडेस एप्लीकेशन आपके पास अच्छा है, प्रोसेस में आपको मिलेगा क्या, तो I'm sure you will get lesser opportunities than the others, but then it depends how will you crack the interviews. और ये सारे क्वेश्चन तुम्हारे खत्म हो जाएंगे जिस दिन तुम्हारे पास पहला जॉब ऑफर आ जाएगा. फिर तुम ऐसे उड़ोगे ना कि अरे अब तो एक आ गया अपने पास, अब और इकट्ठे कर दे. So that is something to answer you. How to get an understanding of which domain we are actually interested in. Namita ma'am and Ram sir, both of you, anything on this? What is that calling?
Yeah, okay. You've done your articles. I think you're all the old syllabus, so 3 years you've done. So which area of audit did you like working most? Was it public sector, private sector, partnerships, practice? You must get in touch with this. You must find out what are your life goals. Very, very important. Any of you want to read any books on life goals, I'll share books with you, no problem at all. So you must get in touch with your life goals. You must pursue them. What is your passion? And you can make a very big name for yourself, a mark for yourself, whatever area you choose. But you've got to make it happen. And that is in your hand. Doesn't make a difference. Anywhere you will make money. Because there's a major shortfall of technically competent professionals right now.
Namita ma'am, anything you want to add on?
Yeah, I just want to say you have to be passionate about something. So you need to first align internally. You know,
Yes.
what keeps you alive, what gives you more energy. And once you identify that, it's very easy then. Then you will not feel ki work ka stress aa raha hai. You will start enjoying your work. So spend time with yourself. Try and figure out what are the things you are actually enjoying. Try and read, as sir said. I mean, reading ka koi alternate nahi hai. Try and read as much as you can. Listen to good podcasts, anything which helps you to identify what are you made for. Once you identify that, there's no coming back. Then you know what you want in life, but you have to find out. Then only you can do it. Like, बाकी सारे inputs लोग दे सकते हैं. But then ultimately it has to click.
Very true. And, just to add on to what was said, where we will help you when this training happens, and in fact, this session I take, we will give you some insights in terms of, what these different industries are into. So because you've asked this particular question very briefly, there is a complete session which talks about industry insights, which will primarily tell you these are the different industries. I mean, so all the industries, what we've done is we've mapped them in terms of job responsibility, future growth, compensation, work-life balance, all this stuff. And ये इतनी सारी जो तुमको स्क्रीन पे दिख रही है, CA firm, offshore industry, banks, finance, और इसके अंदर इतने सारे roles within bank, credit, retail, internal audit, asset side, internal audit, liability side, corporate banking, corporate finance, treasury, forex, इन सब के ऊपर एक-एक करके we have this particular discussion. और ये discussion में we will tell you कि इन सभी industries में क्या होता है. And in all terms, compensation wise, work-life balance, future growth, everything. So, one, एक information sharing हो गई, wherein we share with you कि which industry is like what. Second, what is your calling? तुम्हारा passion क्या है? वो identify तुमको करना पड़ेगा. That is an exercise you'll have to do. There will be inputs given by the trainers who will tell you in terms of how to identify and assess where you will be. और फिर वो अपने को match करके उस तरफ जाना पड़ेगा. But then this is all said, अपने को वो वाली job भी मिलना चाहिए, because ultimately it is all a factor of we getting the right kind of offers which we want. So what I'll also do is I'll just quickly share कि अपना जो campus training program होता है, which is starting from 6th of January. what all things do we cover? I have a simple Excel with me. There's a detailed schedule which is available. Brochure आपके साथ share हो जाएगा. So what we do is एक आपका session होता है जिसमें resume होएगा, which is into parts. HR वाला part, technical वाला part कैसे होता है, and then there are a lot of resources we share. Sample resume की checklist, plus individual feedback आपके CV के ऊपर कि इसको कैसे और improvise करना है एकदम one-to-one basis पे. Then we have sessions which is for personal interview, which is again divided into non-technical, which is HR, जिसमें ये इतनी सारी तरह की चीजें डिस्कस होती है. Lot of resources are shared with you so that you want to refer it on your own. CA के बच्चे अपन पढ़ने की आदत है तो ये सब मिलेगा, इससे पढ़ सकते हैं. Then technical session similarly उसी तरह से. Group discussions और networking कैसे करना है उसके ऊपर multiple sessions plus mock GDs होते हैं. सब पे individual feedback आपको मिलेगा कि आपने क्या किया, कैसे किया. We do that. Then apart from that, other things like how to pitch yourself better. कैसे आपको negotiation as you were being told कि कैसे negotiation में help हुआ, offer multiple मिले मुझे, सिर्फ offers select करने हैं. I mean I want to get the job offers. So after that how to select that. Then ये domain wise guidance जो मैं आपको एक presentation बता रहा था, इसके ऊपर एक in fact we have 2 sessions all together जो इसके ऊपर बात करते हैं. फिर ICI का कैंपस और ऑफ कैंपस. तो ICI की कैंपस का फॉर्म कैसे भरना है, क्या चीजों का ध्यान रखना है, उसमें नहीं रखना है. ऑफ कैंपस कहाँ पे कैसे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. We'll give you some tidbits. Obviously there are other things you'll have to do. Then aptitude psychometric test और logical reasoning के जैसे क्या टेस्ट होते हैं, कैसे evaluate करते हैं. It is not something which you can really prepare to.
Sir, until Sarthak sir comes back, I have one more question from you, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. What is your question?
Sir, does articleship from a Big Four adds value into the CV if a guy has taken attempts also in final specifically?
Not really. I don't think so. You should have done your articles in a fairly mid-sized form, 3-4 partners, so that you got a whole lot of experience. You've done audits, you've done tax work, you've done other statutory compliances, various things.
Sir, in my case, I have been into Deloitte. I have handled 2 listed clients. One is in the pharma sector, another one was the manufacturing sector. Okay. I did stat audit, tax audit, and like forex compliances also. Okay. But due to COVID, I faced severe COVID. So because of 2 years, because of COVID, I wasn't able to give attempts for 2 continuous years.
That's okay.
And because of financial issues also. But in last November 23, I cleared Group 2 and now Group 1 I've cleared. So how should I prepare myself? Like because
you are a chartered accountant today. A chartered accountant is a chartered accountant is a chartered accountant. Nobody is going to look back, and you've got a very good experience. You worked in the Big Four, so nobody is going to find fault with your articles. I mean, falling sick is not in your hand. You didn't want to fall sick. Did you want to fall sick? No, it just happened.
Sir, not at all.
That's all. It just happened. So don't get worried about it. And if they tell you, if they ask you why there is a gap, mention it to them. I was down with COVID, so I couldn't study. I couldn't. I was hospitalized, or I was at home, so I just couldn't focus or concentrate. Nothing wrong.
Okay, sir.
Don't get worried. Don't get worried. Today you are a chartered accountant. That's all matters.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
सर मुझे भी एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है.
हाँ जी, पूछिए.
सर मैं ऐसे बचपन से हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ी हूँ. सीए में आके मैंने इंग्लिश ज्वाइन किया था. मेरे को इंग्लिश समझ में आता है, पढ़ती हूँ तो वो भी कोई बोलता है तो वो भी समझ जाती हूँ. पर मैंने मेरे सीनियर से पूछा कि है ना कि इंटरव्यू इंग्लिश में होता है, तो सबने कहा कि सारे इंटरव्यू इंग्लिश में ही होता है. इतने कम टाइम में मुझे इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग सीखना है जो मैं कर नहीं पाती हूँ. मैं समझ जाती हूँ पर बोल नहीं पाती हूँ.
So you must start working on your English communication. You send me a mail, I'll share some wonderful books with you. Number 2, see, English is not rocket science. English was a language thrust upon us by the British. What is wrong with our languages? There are some words in our language you can't translate to English. But in an interview, because English is the language of business, so you'll have to answer in English. Very simple, whatever English you know. Don't get confused. Don't get psyched with this. Everyone need not be a Sashi Tharoor. Whatever English you know, you speak in that very simple, full sentences. That's all.
इंग्लिश के बीच में अगर थोड़ा सा हिंदी अगर
हाँ।
आ जाता है तो वो
मिला
चलेगा?
मिला सकते हो. They're not going to find fault with you.
ओके ओके
I have the same question, sir. Can I ask you?
Yeah, please.
सर एक्चुअली क्या है ना, नॉलेज है, क्वेश्चन का आंसर भी पता होता है, बट क्या इंग्लिश में फ्लुएंसी ना होने के कारण क्या उसको ढंग से प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पाते, तो उसका एक डाउट रहता है.
So that is why I say that fear comes into us. We get scared. So you must practice. You must practice at home in front of a mirror, or if your mom is free, catch hold of her and answer questions to her. Or if you have a pet dog, usko bita ke aap sawal answer karo. Practice makes perfect. The more
And
you practice,
also, sir, I have articleship completed from a small firm, but now I want a job in a company like a JP Morgan because it's my dream company actually. But
zarur milega. But then for that, you'll have to do something called a CFA and all that, no?
okay.
You'll have to do CFA.
And I
CFA,
also
you'll
don't
have to
have
do
any
an MBA.
connections. I also don't have any connections in JP Morgan and these big companies. So
That's okay.
how can I pursue my CV?
Yeah.
Fast careers. Fast careers.
Past careers, yes.
In fact, I was speaking to the JP Morgan guy today itself, and he told me that this time we are having very less openings. So we are recruiting directly. Otherwise, they used to come to Fast Year campus only.
Okay, they're not coming to you this time.
So not coming. Yeah, not a good news for that.
Okay.
But still, they have few openings, so you can still apply.
Yeah, you can try. But
I want to apply, sir.
they would prefer someone with a CFA or an MBA background.
So, you know, the things for which you love JP Morgan, for that you will need finance background, CFA and others. But they have other jobs also which you probably
Yes.
may not love so much.
Yes.
But yeah, it is. So if you want to join the company, you have opportunities.
Yeah, if you want to join the
newer
company as a brand, join and then work your way towards the job you want. You can do that also.
I want to go in an investment banking sector.
So for that, CA is very important. So
Yeah.
जो नौकरी मिलता है हाथ में उसको ले लीजिए. Then you start developing yourself and move into this domain.
Okay.
Sir, I also have one question.
Anji.
Sir, actually, I am having some issues in my eyes. So, doctor told me to not to have long screen hours. As
Okay.
such, I am good in studies. I'm good in communication. But the point is, I cannot have long screen hours. Then, what should I do, and which domain or which field should I go for?
See, as a chartered accountant, as a finance guy, as an accountant, we will need to look at very many records, books, even to read. Okay, today you can get a lot of this knowledge through recorded and various other means of getting the knowledge. But then you can tell your employer. But then, is this a permanent this thing or it's only a very short term this thing?
Means doctor told that it's better if you avoid long screen hours.
Fair
Means
enough.
even in my articleship also, I also faced this issue that as such, I was comfortable in meeting clients or with talking with them. But the point was whenever
Okay.
I have to work on the laptop for long, it creates a problem.
So what I would suggest is your screen brightness को इतना कम कर सकते हो कम कर लो. Second is wear some cooling glasses so that it doesn't affect the eye. And regularly, whatever doctor has suggested, eye drops or whatever it is that doesn't irritate your eye, continue to use it.
But
And
sir,
seriously, and you have relationship manager kind of roles also available. Halaki, there will be some kind of sales plus
Yes.
your the finance knowledge involved. Wahan pe it is more
Yes.
like a field, and you have to be more on field with the clients in those locations. So maybe you can look at it. But what sir said, you tell your employer, and he will be able to figure out things where you comparatively will be having a lesser job, but definitely not a back office, no KPOs for you, no offshore audits for you.
Don't hide anything at the interview. Integrity and honesty. Upfront, you must declare what you are. And they'll appreciate you for that.
Okay, okay,
Great.
sir.
So, I mean, this discussion is going to go on and on and on. So let's keep it for the next time. I mean, we've already 20 minutes overshot on the timings, but I hope you guys have any. I'm sure you must have had some unanswered questions. We have the WhatsApp group. You can share that on the WhatsApp group. You want to share it personally, there is a number given in the chat box. You can share it there. If you want specific answer from Namita ma'am, Ram sir, me, or generally, you can also mention that. We'll make sure that we get it answered latest by tomorrow. So you have no pending doubts. Apart from that, in case if you want to take up the training, we've shared the link for the training as well. You can basically, decide there and take it. We will be starting from 6th of January. The timings would be, this batch would be in the morning batch.
Sir, can you please share the CV and resume tips also?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, sir.
In the WhatsApp group, I'll share it. So timings would be in the morning hours. It could be, so we start at 7:30 is when we start now?
Yeah, I think 7:30.
Okay, yeah. So we start early morning so that in case even if you have your office and all, you can be free by that time.
Yeah, 7:30 रख लो because अभी winter है
Yeah.
ना, people जरा आराम से उठेंगे, so give them that consideration.
So 9:30.
Correct, sir. Done. Okay, so I think this was, I hope this was helpful for all of you. Thank you, Ram sir. Thank you, Namita ma'am, for the time. Thank you, Viren sir, for managing the
I think
whole show.
I think it was a very wonderful session, Sarthak, and the enthusiasm shown by the young budding chartered accountants is phenomenal. And definitely every one of them is going to get a wonderful job. Just mark my word.
Thank you, sir.
Great. Okay, then. Fair enough. So we'll end the session here and thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.